Hello there, Internet. MegaMogwai here, and I got another video for you guys today. Today we'll play some Abzan Knights, aka Excalibur. You know, in case you watch Fate Zero and are a weeb like me, maybe you will understand that reference. Or maybe you just think I'm a weirdo, which is fine. I kind of gave off that impression in my videos anyways, I think. So, yeah, this is a Abzan's Knights list, and it's mainly Orzhov, but we get to call it Abzan because we're playing 4 copies of Knight of Autumn, which make us run 4 Temple Gardens and 4 Sun Petal Groves. So as you can see, this deck list is mainly Knights. Why are we playing Knights? Well, for 2 reasons. Number 1, we have History of Benalia. So we have a deck that is mainly creature focused, and all of our creatures, not the majority, all of them get boosted by History of Benalia, which makes this card even more powerful than it generally is, right? You know, History of Benalia is a staple for any sort of white creature based build, like mono white aggro, like cannot be played without History of Benalia, in my opinion, and the opinion of many. But on top of that, we have a strategy that benefits even more so from this card. Like the fact that every single one of our creatures gets boosted by this means that if we establish any sort of decent board presence, we get a huge hit off on our opponent. And that is the idea of playing Knights. We also play Valiant Knight, which we'll call reason 1.5, but the other main reason why I want to play Knights is because I really like Ariel, Knight of Windgrace. This is where, you know, the hipster wannabe inside me kind of steps in and be like, Miguel, you got to play this 4-drop because she, like, honestly, like, a lot of players don't even know she exists in the game. She's very underrated, very overlooked as a card, and very fun to play, and very, you know, surprisingly efficient, especially in the mid-range matchups. She shines more in a best-of-3 scenario because you face more mid-range decks, and her utility is more, you know, evident as, you know, matches can drag out a little bit and you can reach a bit of a stalemate in which both players are developing a board with creatures. And in that sort of staleness, then she can come in and use her abilities at the end of your opponent's turn because she has Vigilance, so she can attack anyways. And then at the end of your opponent's turn, you can either tap 3 mana with 1 white swords to create a 2/2 white knight creature with Vigilance, so you get another knight. Or you can use her to tap that and some of your other knights with Vigilance as well to destroy, or just untap knights in general, to destroy a specific creature with X power, you know, which equals the amount of untapped knights that you tapped, right? Which can, in certain scenarios, so you guys understand, I use this ability to take down, for example, Land of Our Elves against Sultai Midrange in specific moments where they were trying to ramp a little bit. And also Wildgrowth Walker, as they played like their Explorer, I would, you know, tap Ariel, and before the Wildgrowth Walker got buffed, because it only has 1 power initially, it was very easy to kill as well, right? So, like I said, you know, surprisingly efficient card, right? Which is obviously not an amazing card because she has to stick on the board. She's a 4/4/4/4, and she's not doing anything amazing immediately, right? So, when you're facing like Control, when you're facing Aggro, she's not really the greatest, but in slower games, she definitely puts in some work, and she's just overall a cool card, and I want to play a cool card. Okay, I don't have to explain myself. I like cool cards. I like underrated cards, and I want to play them. And she is one of them. I'm not gonna be able to showcase her. God damn it, in today's video because I'm gonna be playing mainly best of 1. I recorded a bunch of best of 1 games, but tomorrow I'll be back at it with this deck, and I'll be showcasing the deck. There you go, in a best of 3 scenario, where hopefully we can make her actually shine. Enough to include her in the thumbnail, at least. And, yeah, that is the deck list right there. And, like I said, it's a bunch of knights. We have the Valiant Knight, which enable us to boost our units even further, alongside the Venerable Marshal. And we just got a bunch of dudes that hit. We have removal in the form of cast down. We got enchantment hate. We got a card that enables us to refuel when we get board wiped. And we just got an entire deck list that tries to benefit from this powerful enchantment right here. So on top of that, we have a sideboard that includes 4 Dress, 4 Tocatli Honor Guards for the Sultai mid-range matchup mainly, 2 Midnight Reapers for more control matchups, 2 Sprouting Renewal because we want to be original here, and we're going to play an enchantment removal card that can also provide us with more knights. And has Convoke, so we can actually cast this with, you know, an already established board presence for potentially free, right? So I like this card in, like, Wilderness Reclamation matchups, alongside Mortify, which can enable us to destroy enchantments as well. And we have 1 Kaya Orzhov Usurper because she's pretty damn good actually against mono blue tempo, and that is the sideboard right there. Though, like I said, I may be changing this as I'm going to be trying to play this deck later today on stream. So maybe I'll be modifying the sideboard, like it's still a work in progress. But hopefully I can showcase off some, goddammit, some games in best of 3 with this tomorrow. And that's all I got to say. Have a solid day. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed some good old Knights action. It's been a while since, I played this sort of deck. It's fun. It's some good old fun. So, yeah. Thank you for watching my videos. Leave a like if you enjoyed. I'll see you guys tomorrow with more. All right, let's do it. Excalibur! It's such a weep. It was a good show, though. I don't know. I like Fate Zero. I didn't like the new ones, though. They were too convoluted for me, personally. All right. Pabede is our first opponent. And his diamond is a little bit bigger than ours, and that makes me feel insecure and angry. So let's try to capitalize on our anger and, smoke him. Smoke him good. We're going to keep this hand. We have a turn 2 Knight of Malice and a turn 3 Benelish Marshal with a cast down in the mix. We can't really cast Knight of Autumn with this hand, but we can hope we draw into the unclaimed territory or, the shock land eventually. As, we are playing mono red, so... yeah, it's quite choppy here. I'm going to play Unclaimed Territory because I don't want to take any sort of damage. Versus the mono red matchup. And, I mean, if I play Knight of Malice, it's probably just going to get answered. But I don't want to waste a cast down on a Fanatical Firebrand when they could have a Steamkin or a Goblin Chain Whirler. That would require, Okay, definitely gonna get zapped here. Wizard's Lightning, yeah. Alright, we're gonna take another hit. And from this point onwards, I'm gonna play the... I guess because I don't want to take any damage. And because I know he has like more, zapping. I don't want to play the Benelish Marshal and take 2 damage. Instead, I'm going to play my cast down at instant speed. I could have played it here to prevent that, but I'd rather him... yeah. I mean, I would not have been able to prevent that anyways, so it's not the biggest deal. That's rough. Double shock can enable him to clear anything he wants to clear. And I will cast down this D2 Lava Runner. We do have the Knight of Autumn, which will enable us to heal back up. And we have the Benelish Marshal as well, though we don't want to play the Benelish Marshal just yet because he does have double shock. So Knight of Autumn seems like the best play here. We're going to cast her thanks to the Unclaimed Territory, and we're going to gain 4 life, actually. I know she's gonna get shocked, but it's not really something that we're gonna fight too much here. Shock to the face, and that seems to be his turn. We're gonna play another Isolated Chapel, and here we're gonna play the Midnight Reaper so we can actually potentially refuel. It's not the greatest against aggro, but again, I can refuel a little bit, and then I can drop the Benelish Marshal, which will be less likely to die, basically. That's the whole idea. Like, I want the odds of Benelish Marshal living to be the highest they can be. Okay, double monkey, double trouble, but my opponent has run out of steam. In a way, and now is when we try to stabilize it again. Let's play the Knight of Grace, and let's play the Benelish Marshal. Let's stop our opponent on their tracks. And then we're going to play a Johnny. Can we play a Johnny? And I think we can play... I think I like a Johnny first. The reasoning behind this is because I want to put Benelish Marshal out of thunder range, and just like that, we take down mono red. Excalibur! Sorry about that. I actually like my ear just kind of like popped while doing that. I guess it's too early for me. Alright, let's go to the next one, shall we? Alrighty. MTG Flame. Look at that big, giant pearl he's holding. On the gates towards Mythic rank, and we have a pretty promising hand. We're gonna keep this because we have Dauntless Bodyguard. Like, this deck with Dauntless Bodyguard is just so much better. I'm gonna lead off with the Unclaimed Territory because, again, I do not want to take damage versus mono red aggro, and we're gonna drop the Dauntless Bodyguard there. Call that a turn. There is the Steamkin. We do not have a cast down, which is what I want to see in this scenario. I mean, I kind of want to play... The problem is this just kind of like dies to a Goblin Chain Whirler on curve. Yeah, an unanswered Steamkin is definitely a problem for us. I gotta think how to approach this. I'm gonna do it this way. I'm gonna play you tapped. I'm gonna play a Dauntless Bodyguard, and I'm going to... Should I attack? No. I'm gonna try to defend. Getting that Godless Shrine means that I can play the Isolated Chapel, and from this point onwards, I shouldn't have any trouble, you know, playing my lands and curving out properly. Yeah, that's going face. And he's going to skewer the critics. He just attacks with that. We're going to take it to the face. We're not going to block. Not quite yet, at least. We're becoming a little bit flooded here, unfortunately. We're going to play a Knight of Grace. And we're going to drop another Shockland. And we're gonna hold on. We're trying to see if we can get a Johnny in there and we can put him some work. But that Runaway Steamkin is most definitely a problem. The fact that we don't have the cast down for it. Yeah, this is problematic to say the least. This Steamkin is just pushing so much damage. Not gonna block. We're down to 10, and this is the point where we gotta try to, That's rough. I mean, we could draw into a Knight of Autumn, but if we keep drawing lands like this, okay. We have to go with the Isolated Chapel. And I believe we gotta go. I mean, this plus this, and I can't answer either of them, is pretty much a death sentence, to be completely honest, but I think,
Fight alone.
This is just gonna die to zap. This, I mean, but then he just zaps the other one. Yeah, we're just gonna play this.
On your feet.
We're gonna see if for some miracle we can hold back this turn, like he doesn't go too crazy on us. Even though when you don't answer an Experimental Frenzy, you know, stuff, very bad stuff happens, right? Oh. Okay. Well, that's surprising. We're going to play the Dauntless Bodyguard on the Knight of Grace, I believe. That's what we're going to do. Okay, so what is worth more? Like, is there any reason to keep this over this? Like, is there any... No, we play you. Protect this. We're going to play the Knight of Malice to boost up our Knight of Grace here. We're gonna go with a +1 from a Johnny. On to you and on to you.
You are capable of more than you assume.
I'm gonna attack with these two. We may as well sacrifice them.
You have not killed me yet.
If I was gonna attack with this, I probably should have. Did I do that right? I mean, this is looking very rough. Like, I need him to not kill my knights here. Okay.
I am sorry. I must go.
That's not what I need. Getting flooded in this scenario is absolutely brutal. I needed to play here. Maybe like attacking was a mistake, but if I don't apply pressure when Experimental Frenzy's on the board, like I'm just not winning this game ever. Like I need to push to win. But I needed to draw something there. I need to draw something actually pretty impactful. Like I needed something. I needed something. Not a land. Unfortunately, this is GG. Not much we can do about here. Like I said, when you have a Steamkin and you have an Experimental Frenzy, obviously this is very, very powerful. And we do have cast downs, we do have Knight of Autumns, like we do have answers in our deck for this, but if we don't draw them, like it's just gonna play out like this. I don't think I misplayed too heavily this game. Maybe I made some bad calls with my. I think I did decent. It's just, you know, it's just mono red sometimes. It's funny that he can. Like, the thing is, at this point, he's got endless fuel. He has a pretty established board, and we can't break through that. So we gotta pack it home and move on to the next one. Okay, it's not me. I'm gonna keep this. We have a turn one. Like, the Orzhov Guildgate is a little bit awkward because we wanna curve out into this. I'm actually gonna do this because we don't know if we're facing, you know, mono red, because there's a lot of mono red players here. That's really throwing me off. That I'm pretty sure that's a sound bug or something. But if this keeps up, I may just turn off my headphones. I'm gonna pay 2 mana, pay 2 life, and I'm going to play the Knight of Grace as it has hexproof from black. So if our opponent has a moment of craving or something, they can't really do anything about it. And we're going to try to pressure. I'm going to try to play the Knight of Malice here to empower the Knight of Grace, and I'm going to start pushing damage. Obviously, if our opponent has like a Cry of the Carnarium, then we're just going to cry every time, because that's just going to set us back tremendously. Unmoored Ego. Interesting. Well, I would expect my opponent to, I mean, I want to play Midnight Reaper next turn. Like, I would love a land to be able to cast Midnight Reaper. Though History of Benalia is also just as powerful, really. I think History of Benalia would make more sense now that I think about it. Because we want to end this game quickly. We want to punish our opponent from going for a negative, like, a 0 tempo play here in Unmoored Ego. Though, if I'm him, I either take History of Benalia or I take, Knight of Grace. Okay. He doesn't like the hexproof. All right. Well, that increments our odds. I was gonna say that increments our odds of. We're gonna play the Dauntless Bodyguard onto the Knight of Malice or onto the Knight of Grace. I mean, he could have a no. If he has a board wipe, he can't. It can't be Kaya's Wrath. It could be a Ritualist Suit though. So. I'm going to play around board wipes, and I'm going to keep the Knight of Grace. Yeah, I think that's the best approach. I'm going to play a Dauntless Bodyguard here, and I'm going to target you, because that way I guarantee that I always have, like, some sort of pressure. I would have loved to have that turn be, you know, a Knight of History of Benalia turn, but unfortunately, we don't find that third land, so we got to continue pushing. Okay, there's the Vraska's Contempt. Alright. Come on, baby. Well, we'll just play you then. And keep pushing damage. We do threaten lethal next turn. Though, obviously, that's probably not going to happen. He's probably going to have something. Okay, I'm going to sacrifice this just to give my Knight of Grace, you know. God damn it, dude. That's annoying. But if he has a Vraska's Contempt here, then I can use Cast Down and thus enable lethal, and we got him anyways. Who needs the third mana? Who does? Come on now, 2 mana is all we need. And I'm definitely gonna, I'm gonna be right back because I'm gonna have to reboot this because there's definitely like a sound bug going on and it's driving me nuts. So I'll be right back. Alrighty, we're back. No more, you know. I don't even know. That's not the first time that happens, but oh my god, that is just like the worst. We are going to, I think I must, maybe I popped this it. Let's see. We have no turn 1 play, no turn 2 play. That just doesn't sit well with me. I'm gonna mulligan. This will have to do. And I say this will have to do because I'm actually gonna have to keep this because that way I guarantee that it's a bit too many lands, but I guarantee that I can curve out into History of Benalia, and I think that's very, very important. So I'm gonna lead off with the Plains, and then I can just Sun Petal Grove. I can Knight of Grace. We may be facing Mono Blue Tempo. We don't have a, like, Cast Down is not playable for us until we draw into a black land. So this hand is not amazing, but I'm not gonna mulligan again just because of, you know, that. A Surge Mare. Oh, interesting. There's a Siren Storm Tamer. You still attack with this. You can pay 2 mana, but that means he can't counter me. So that puts him in a bit of a predicament. Yeah, that's not the land I want to draw, though. That's a very, very poor draw for us. I don't want to get countered on my History of Benalia, so I'm actually going to play the Dauntless Bodyguard. The problem is we can bypass this. This is a problem because this single-handedly like blocks us really well. This is a huge issue. Like the 5 health, like the fact that he's main decking this, even though we don't have like green creatures except for Knight of Autumn, like the 5, like this is a very, very big problem for us. Very big problem. So it turns out I was a Merfolk Trickster. I still couldn't risk getting my hit, but because History of Benalia is like one of my win cons here. Like I have to, you know, I have to find the right timing for it, or at least make sure I don't get spell pierced. Like I said though, drawing this, if this was a black source of mana, I would feel much better. Because now, like this cast down, in order for me to cast it, I need to draw into another land. And that's just a problem. I'm not gonna. I need to like the way I'm gonna win this game is by pushing damage. He's keeping the counter available though. See, this is. I'm gonna see if he has a counter. I'm pretty sure he does, but he's being selective about it. In the meanwhile, I need to push the damage myself. When these two are in the same on the board at the same time, yeah. See, the problem is this thing just blocks us, and our opponent gets more damage onto us. Like I needed this to be a black source of mana so that I can cast down at the end of his turn. Or I could cast down here. Like if I was able to cast this, then I would potentially be able to switch this game around, because right now we're kind of in a, we're just held back by a 0-5 who just blocks us all the time. And this, I mean, now with our own Knight of Malice we slow him down, but he's just dealing way more, you know, he's drawing a card every time he's hitting us. So the odds of us getting this History of Benalia to go through now, I would really like a black land here, like a black source of mana, like an Isolated Chapel, even a shock land if it has to be. Like I need something to be able to play History of Benalia, try to bait out his counter, and then go for the cast down on this. Because if I can destroy this, at least we get somewhere. We go in places. But the moment he plays another Silent Storm Tamer, it's kind of when it's over, because then he can just counter our removal, and you know, shit just hits the fan. 4 cards in hand. He could not have a counter spell, but the way he's been playing, I'm pretty certain he does. Oh, there it is. Let's play around Spell Pierce. Okay. And now we have to try to cast down here. Yeah. Game too much time to draw, and at this point it's looking rough for us. We can always like get 3 damage in, maybe potentially even more, but he's gonna be able to hit us back. We're just never gonna win this race at this point because of our, we got too flooded and our mana base was wrong. I cry every time. He gets a trade with a Dauntless Bodyguard. We get 3 damage in. But like I said, as long as this thing is sticking around, he can just block us, and he gets... And he keeps refueling is the thing, right? Because of the Curious Obsession. But the MVP for him is the Surge Mare here. Like, the main deck Surge Mare is legitimately... Because otherwise, we can just race him. Like, if this thing is not on the board, we can just start smacking him, and we deal more damage than him. Like, I've faced Mono Blue with this deck before. Like, we can out-tempo them. The problem is this thing. Like, the 5 health on this, meaning that it can just stop one of my attackers. Well, he's not pinging me for much, but he's constantly refueling because of this Curious Obsession. And then, you know, once the Tempest Djinn goes down, it's pretty much over, especially if we draw into another land. Unfortunate draws. Unfortunate game. But hey. Here's our next opponent. This hand is very land heavy. Very, very land heavy for a Knight deck, but I'm gonna keep it because it's not a bad hand if I'm facing like an aggressive deck. Knight of Malice is a good 2-drop to go into, and at least I know that I'm not gonna run out of steam. But whenever I have like ideally I want a 2 or a 3 lander, right? This sort of deck. Midnight Reaper, there's a good draw though. We see an Izzet, or is it? Sorry, Guild Key. I don't know why I pronounce it like Izzet. This is... Okay, it's a gate deck. Alright. Well, let's drop the Knight of Malice. Let's be evil. And we're going to follow this up with a Midnight Reaper, actually. Because we want to play around a Gates Ablaze, just completely blowing us back. So we're not going to play Benalish Marshal. Or maybe now we are. I mean, I'd rather just... He could have another... I'd rather play just a Midnight Reaper, because I'm going to end up pushing the same amount of damage with this than with this. So I'd rather set this up in case he has, you know, more removal. Then I can just refill in a way. Okay, that's That's like the easiest cast down of my life. Really sucks though that I can only just like cast down that. Like I can't do that impaired with the 2-drop. This won't get me there, unfortunately, so that's unfortunate. Next turn we can Knight of Malice and Benelish Marshal, and then we have the Valiant Knight as well. He didn't play a land there. Okay. Well, this is the turn. This is the turn to capitalize. This is the turn to capitalize. Let's play the Benelish Marshal and the Dauntless Bodyguard. Yeah, the Dauntless Bodyguard. That way, even if he does have a Gate to Blaze, we can keep the Marshal on the board. We can keep pushing damage. Alright. We're just gonna load the board, and we're gonna try to get a huge kill off on him. We're not gonna attack with these two just yet, because we want to get a big swing off on him. We can't really trade into this Gatebreaker Ram right now. We got to build up a little bit more, and then... Alright, there it is. Okay. There's our cast down. Beautiful. Alright, so what can we do here? We can Valiant Knight, and we can cast down. So we're going to do that. We're going to pay 2 life. And we're going to hope that our opponent doesn't have a second Gates Ablaze. If he does, then we're kind of screwed. If he does, then we just... It's just not meant to be. Single target removal, I can deal with. Like, I can accept. Okay, don't draw into it now, please. Okay. Alright. Well, baby. We got him with the Valiant Knight. Just making sure about the timing. There we go. Whoo, alright. That was nice, because even if he blocked there, even if he had like 2 blockers, as long as I got 1 in, I could activate the double strike and I could hit him twice. You know, Valiant Knight is a good finisher in that sense. A second Gates Ablaze would have meant our doom, but you know, that's kind of how those matchups go. You know, it's kind of like gate decks in general against sort of like aggressive builds. They really rely on Gates Ablaze because it's such a powerful AoE effect. So nasty, actually.